Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Lighthouse Sessions. And today I'm super excited. We are going to have a Go Giver discussion with my new friend, Sarka Risch. Sarka, welcome to the show. Why don't you tell my audience a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Hi, Jeff. Hi, everyone. I am grateful to be here and to inspire as many people as I can. So, yes, my passion is actually to help and inspire people through building a strong LinkedIn presence, a LinkedIn brand, LinkedIn community to achieve goals. And why? Because I was there too. I was a lurker on LinkedIn and I didn't know what to do there. And mainly I thought I don't have a story and I didn't believe in myself. And that's how everything started. I started working on myself and then I realized I have a story and I can help others to find their voice on LinkedIn and to share the unique opinion, the unique experiences and expertise on LinkedIn to inspire and help others.
I love it. Now, we're going to talk about LinkedIn for just a second. We're not going to focus our whole time on it, but it fascinates me. You mentioned that you were a lurker for 9 years. I meet a lot of people who are on LinkedIn, yet terrified to post or to share. And I'm like, honestly, why are you here if you're not posting? And again, I'm not judging them. It's just I have a friend who wants my help with connecting to people, and I'm like, if you want my help, you got to be active on LinkedIn because that's where I spend my time. And I will point out, we'll shout out to Mandy Gibbons that we met on LinkedIn, her and I, and then she said, if you're doing a podcast, you need to interview Sarka. So LinkedIn does work. Is that a fair comment?
Yes, yes, that's really the main point, and many people are afraid, as I was as well, because so many decision makers are on the platform, and also athletes and politicians, and really very inspiring people are there, and so you don't know how to start a conversation, but it's the biggest online networking event. So I always say, imagine the person is standing in front of you, and you are meeting him or her and talking to them. And I mean, we are humans, and it's so important to realize that it's all about humans and building relationships.
Now, I'm going to recognize something publicly. We may as well get it out there. There are a lot of transactional people on LinkedIn who, unfortunately, someone out there, I don't know who it is, because if I did, I'd stop them. They're teaching people pitch slaps and cold outreach. And my latest pet peeve is that AI driven garbage comments. Now, let's talk about how you approach LinkedIn because for me, um, I almost went crazy trying to cater to the algorithm. And then one day I said, I'm a go giver. I don't care about the algorithm, I care about the people. So, what's your strategy? Because I'm going to guess you're relational, not transactional, like the vast majority.
Yeah, for me, it's all about relationships and being human. And that's why I also focus on humans and not writing with AI. I don't write my posts or comments or DMs with AI because it's my energy, it's my heart, and I want to connect with people from my heart. So for me, actually, everything starts with the clarity about who you are, who you would like to help with, and what are your messages that you would like to be known for, that will inspire and help others. Once you have this clarity, of course, it goes back to your purpose, to your mission and vision. But once you have this clarity, then it's actually about your positioning, how you position yourself as an expert in your field, how you do it on your profile or in the comments and also in the posts. So that's actually how I apply my method that was in 2025 was featured in Forbes also, and that for me it starts everything with positioning, then it's the connection, and then it's serving. So when you have this clear positioning, then it's important to build this community, connect with people on the emotional level first, to get to know them in comments, in DMs, with the goal to have conversations on calls or in person. And then to serve them, to really be clear how you could help them if you can, and what you can do for them. And that's for me actually the power of LinkedIn. It's how I help leaders, executives, entrepreneurs, and also how they get results, because actually it's all about people, about quality, focusing on the real essence, the real human beings on the platform. And when you do that, immense opportunities will open up, like podcast interviews, speaking opportunities, deals. One of my clients got 4 employees in 3 weeks, but he didn't do any ads for this, any advertisement. He was just posting and applying my strategies.
I love it. And I think that's the part that baffles me and it saddens me a little. So I'm going to share something weird that I did. I think you'll love it. I saw a lot of people complaining about the algorithm, and oddly, the algorithm decided I needed to see that. And I'm like, I don't like any of this. So I actually broke up with the algorithm. I actively train it to not understand me because I don't want it playing in my head. But the aha moment, so I did something, and I'm going to share it with you because I think you'll find it amusing. I turned LinkedIn into the world's largest online networking game. Now, it's unsanctioned. LinkedIn doesn't care about me. They don't know about me. But what I did was I posted my mantra, I posted my doctrine, and I said, if I was playing LinkedIn like a game, here are some of the rules I would follow. And one of those rules is I communicate. So I actually came up with 10 commitments, and I said, here's what I'm going to commit to, and here's how I'm going to show up. But the aha moment, and this is where you'll probably love this, I realized that if I built the 5 laws of stratospheric success from the Go-Giver into my game, I would actively repel the transactional people, and the algorithm would send them somewhere else. And it started bringing in the relational people.
Yeah, that's amazing. Congrats to you. And it's all about actually building trust, because people buy from people they know, they like, and they trust. And if we have this credibility through the right positioning as well and build this trust, then we will build connections, we will build relationships. And also businesses are all about relationships. That's why it's not about quantity and not about algorithm. It's not about vanity metrics. It's all about people and building and nurturing genuine relationships.
I love it. And now I'm going to share something because a lot of people say you can't build relationships on LinkedIn. What do you say to that, Sarka? Given the fact that you and I are actually having a conversation because of a relationship, but what would you say to that?
I hear this sometimes too, but it's because the people don't know how to do it. So the first thing is they don't know how. And the second thing is they don't have the clarity as well, perhaps, or the right positioning. And also they don't imagine the person behind the profile, because there is usually, it's if it's not a fake account, there is a person behind it, behind the company page, behind the personal profile. And I really imagine, this is actually what I teach every of my clients, that imagine the person is standing in front of you and you are talking to him and to her in the DMs, in the post, and ask every time what's in it for them, because they ask the same. If they come to your profile, they have like 5 seconds to go through and they ask what's in it for me. The same in the post, the same in the DMs. And yeah, if we show our authentic self, then people connect quicker. And this is, of course, through sharing our unique experiences, our unique expertise, our unique opinion and stories. because we are humans and
Love
we connect emotionally.
I love it. Now I have a confession to make. I'm going to out you and I as AI because people tell me that authentic is a word that AI uses a lot. And I'm pretty sure I'm not AI because I've used authentic for years. I'm almost equally certain you're not AI. So I'm going to say that people who call authentic an AI tell aren't really relationship-based people. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, authentic, it has been used so many times, and people actually are a little bit allergic for that, so I understand it. But the point is, they don't really get it. What does it mean? So, authentic is really showing myself as I am, not making perfect videos, not making everything perfect. And this is AI, yes, but I show myself with my mistakes, with my learnings. I show and document actually my journey. And that's also what I tell my clients. And they are doing that and they are getting the results because people resonate with them again. And then they reach out to them and they want to work with them. And this is actually, yeah, we are imperfect human beings. And when we share this imperfectionism, by the way, I did a TEDx talk on how I overcame my perfectionism. So when we share how we handle this imperfectionism, so many people relate and they can be inspired. They can learn from us.
I love that. Now, let's talk a little bit more about your work because, um, so little rant, little pet peeve. I am exhausted by people who are using AI to create their clever taglines, their clever profiles. And I read it and go, huh? I'm a smart guy. I'm not bragging, but seriously, if I can't understand what you do, I'm actually there trying to. So you and I are going to have a conversation about this because I'm going to blanket statement something. People can send me hate mail. I'm okay with it. LinkedIn is another marketing piece. And as a marketing piece, it should be clear on what you do, who you serve, and why you matter to them. What would you add to that, Rant? Because I'm genuinely tired of having to put people's profiles into AI and say, could you explain what this person does?
Yeah, this is what I said before, that people have like 5 seconds that they spend on your profile. They check actually the banner, they check your headline, then about section, post, and that's it. And if they don't understand who you are, who you help with, and what are the benefits for them, they're gone. And this is that you think of your strengths, that you think of what's unique for you, what's your unique story, how can you differentiate from others. And this is not AI. Of course, you can ask the prompts and everything like that, but it's your energy and it's your journey, and you have to think about it. You have to reflect and to find it. Perhaps it won't be in 24 hours, but with the time you will get it, and then you have this clarity. And actually, I mean, you are already in business, or if you are starting, then you know you have already the idea. So just sit down and ask yourself, who is my ideal client, how they feel, how do I want to feel them? Because people never forget how we make them feel seen, heard, valued, understood.
I love it. I love it. And I think that's, one of the challenges I have with visionary entrepreneurs. They are my people. I am one of them. I love them dearly, and they have 1,000 different passion projects. And I'm no different. You talk to me Monday morning at 9 a.m. I'm excited about one thing. Talk to me Tuesday at 11 a.m. I'm on to something different. But the reality is, a lot of people are trying to use AI to sound smarter, but I think we lose that unique human spark. Now, full disclosure, I have an AI model that's trained on my writing, and it's my sparring partner. So we co-write things. There's never a here, type it in, give me this, copy and paste. It's always a back and forth. And then when I'm happy, I take it and I humanize it. But I'm fascinated when people are literally copying and pasting their identity. And one of the things I know about AI is no matter how extreme you are, it's life's a bell curve. AI will bring you to the average in the middle. So really bright people end up sounding average. So what are some of the techniques you use? What does working with you look like? So somebody starts with a call, they're going to get to know you, you're going to get to know them. I'm going to guess that you go based on a gut instinct, whether you want to work with somebody or not. You don't strike me as somebody who's just looking for the next client, but more the next partner. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, yes, it's totally true, because for me it's also the growth mindset very important. And I notice if the people have it, or if they want to work on it. So if they have the growth mindset, then that's actually the ideal client for me, because they want to grow, they want to learn, and they have the commitment. Because if you want to work with me, you really need the commitment to move forward, to change something. In your life also, it's not only about LinkedIn, because it's about the positioning, everything, and your thinking, and how you are talking, also your narratives. Or if you don't have the growth mindset, if you aren't there yet, you are open to work. You have this willingness to work on it. So these are actually the people that I love working with. I work with because these people have the commitment, and we start with a strategy. So I send a questionnaire and to get to know them better, their mission, vision, purpose, target audience, and so on. And then I suggest a strategy. Together we define it, and then we work along this strategy on the 3 pillars of LinkedIn, on personal profile and the company page, then building an active community, and then on posting, where actually the comments are already part of posts, like mini posts as well. Yeah.
I love it. Now, one of the things I'm finding a lot of is, and I hope the algorithm starts to weed this out, it's the, I call it the brobot energy. It's, hey, I just built this thing, or this is, I unlocked the algorithm and I'm going to give all my secrets, drop a fire emoji in the chat or comments. That annoys me. And again, I don't begrudge them, because I know they think they're doing the best thing for them, but I see the comments, and I'm very respectful and mindful of it. If somebody posts an article or content and I give a meaningful comment, and the key is it's meaningful, it's not, hey, great post. I've started many conversations that lead to projects, and I think this is part of the go-giver mindset. I genuinely don't look at everybody on LinkedIn as a future prospect. I look at them and say, how can we play together?
Yes, I love the mindset. Yeah, me too. I actually almost ask myself how this person can inspire me, and how can I inspire him or her. So it's really about learning from each other, because, as I said, everyone has this unique experience, unique opinion, unique expertise, and we can learn so much from each other, from the mistakes, from the failure, and this helps us actually to move forward. And that's why also, since I started being entrepreneur 5 years ago in 2021, I'm permanently working with 2 to 3 coaches, because for me it's so important to invest in myself, to permanently work on myself, and also on my personal development on top, on my growth mindset, to move forward, but also to pass this knowledge that I implement onto my clients, that they also develop as well.
I love that. And for what it's worth, I always look to pair my people. I meet somebody, I'm gentle about it. I'm not going to say, hey, you need mindset work. But one of the things I find is if they don't have the mindset, working with me is not going to work, because I'm going to help them. I'm going to push them out of their comfort zone. And I don't want to work with somebody who's tortured by stretching and growing.
Yeah, yeah, and that's actually also my vision. My vision is a connected world where I help people to get to know each other, to get inspired from each other, and if it fits, to do business together. So that's also why I love connecting people as well, and because I found there are so many win-win situations where we can, as I said, learn from each other and get inspired. And I met so many inspiring people here where I live in Switzerland, in the US, in Japan. Japan is one of my heart countries as well. So it's all over the world. And then when I'm there in the country, I try to meet them in person. And every time I think like, oh my God, I've known them for ages. But this is also everything through LinkedIn. And it's not about that I was thinking, yeah, this is my prospect. It's about because I was thinking this is an inspiring human. And for example, I organized a trip to Switzerland for one of my connections from the US for their whole family. And they have never been to Switzerland and we have never met before. And then they came here, I organized it. I went for a hike. I showed them a chocolate factory. And it was like I've been knowing them for ages. It was so inspiring and amazing. And the friendships that we have now, incredible. Yeah.
I love that. And, I have this personal bias that life's too short to work with people I don't like. And I think when you bring the right people together, magic happens. And again, I'm not judging anybody who wants to be transactional. It's just not a game I have any interest in playing.
Yeah, and it's not long term. I mean, when we build really genuine relationships and nurture them, then in the long term, they will stay and they will come back as a clients, perhaps, because they know how we work and they realize, okay, I need some more help or I forgot this. How can I move forward and what's new and how can I learn this? And they also recommend us. So and they help us if we need a help and we ask, they connect us with another people. So it's really priceless to build such a network. And I say the same to my clients. LinkedIn is the biggest online networking event.
Well, and honestly, I think that the complainers on LinkedIn, and by the way, I see this in real life too. They're the ones who show up and expect a platform that is free to them to magically bow to their wishes and bring them everything. And I say this about everything in life. LinkedIn is what you put in is what you're going to get out. So if you're putting in low quality content and you're pushing for cheap transactions, guess what's going to be reflected back to you?
It's like in real life, we have to give first before we get, but we have to give without expectations. And that's the same on LinkedIn, to inspire, to help without expectations. And then the people will start reaching out. You will attract the people.
And I think that's what people don't realize is when you go that transactional pitch slap route, you're always going to have to go that route because you're never building any goodwill. I hate to say it, but when somebody comes at me with a hard pitch slap, I am as kind as I can be. I always give them a chance to correct themselves. And if they don't correct it by the second or third attempt, I block and I report them as spammers. And it's just, I want to clean up the neighborhood. I don't want to see garbage every time I turn around. So let's talk about the ideal person. And it might feel a little redundant, but we're going to cover this a little bit more. But who's out there right now thinking, oh my God, I need Sarka? Now, to be clear, nobody's doing that right now. Nobody needs you or me. What pain are they agonizing over that when they feel this pain and they wake up at 2 a.m. complaining about it, what would bring them into your world?
Yeah, so people who I work with are usually frustrated at the beginning. They have fear of showing themselves up. They don't know how to put themselves out. And it's not about bragging. It's, as we were talking about inspiring, helping others. And they also don't know how to use the platform, or they are using already the platform, they are not getting any results, or they don't have the strategy, they are not using strategically, they are spending lots of time through scrolling and there are no results. So these are actually the people that feel there is like something is okay, but they don't get the results. And what is okay is good, but usually it's a positioning that I see on the profile, or the profile is not clear at all. And also the community haven't been built. I check the comments and I see what they are commenting on and how they write it. And also the content, the posts, how they write them, because there need to be the personality inside. I really notice it if it's written by AI or not. And yeah, so it is really the personality that is often missing, and also that I see that this person is doing what she's talking about, that I really notice, okay, this is a credible person, I can learn from her as an expert or from him, and that's why I will continue to read the post. And of course there are the headlines that are important, but it's actually that I notice this is my expert and I can learn from her and him, and this is what I help with.
I love that. Now, do you have a geography, a sector? Like, I get it. LinkedIn is open 24/7. It's like it's a convenience store more or less. But do you have a geography or a time zone you prefer to work in?
Yeah, so I work with German and English speaking executives and entrepreneurs, and I focus on Europe, US, Canada. I have never worked with Australian people, but I am open to. So, so this is actually my main target audience. I work already with people from Dubai. So it's really international. Also from people from Japan. But yeah, in Japan it's changing now, but still they are like, they have some fears that if the employer will see them, then something can happen and so on, and they are not so open to put themselves out. But it's also changing in Japan, and LinkedIn Japan is also active. I met them also in Tokyo, for example. So yeah.
Very cool. Now, are you predominantly working with owner founders, or are you working with leaders, team members? What's your sort of sweet spot in terms of who you can help the most or love to help the most?
Actually, both, because I do one-on-one coaching online, and I also do workshops where I train teams or executives one-on-one or on team, online or offline. So I actually work with both.
Now, I'm going to state a bias, and I hope you'll tear it apart if it's wrong, but I'm a recovering salesman. I've given up on that profession, not because I didn't like it, not because I wasn't good at it, but because I'm called for more than just sales. I want to do more go-to-market and relationship-based. But one of the things I can't help but envision is, in most organizations, we've got marketing, we've got sales, and they butt heads. Wouldn't it be useful, and please chime in, if marketing and sales sat down and said, here's our strategy, here's how you execute it on LinkedIn, and then we started to put all of that wonderful marketing stuff, the brochures, the collateral, the testimonials, case studies, if the team was supporting the common brand, wouldn't that elevate the company and at least make them stand out on LinkedIn?
Exactly. I've been working in marketing sales for 20 years before I started this journey with LinkedIn, and I experienced the same thing. And that's why actually I train teams as well, and train them as entrepreneurial ambassador, because actually everyone is an ambassador, even it's the own company or it's the company where they're an employee, and to really train them that they understand what does it mean when I am active for the company, but also for myself, for employer brand, and also building the personal brand. What does it mean and what does bring them? Because there are many stories that people were laid off, and they haven't built a personal brand. And once they did it, everything got easier. And it's so important that also sales and marketing work together. I train also sales teams and marketing teams as well on LinkedIn, how to use it strategically to reach their goals, because that's where the magic happens, when they understand how they can use it for the company to reach their goals, but also for themselves, for the personal branding, because they share their unique expertise, as we were talking about. So this is really what moves the needle.
I love that. And I think it's just, to me, what I see, a lot of salespeople are either they're inbound and they're passively waiting, or they're the business development guys and they're lone wolf hunters. And then you've got everybody else in between who, need a little bit of coaching. But I can't help but think, now, one of the challenges I know gets in the way is the sense of corporate greed. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but salespeople tend to be rewarded for the deals they close. Sometimes when you're on LinkedIn, it's a little fuzzy how you track that, but I feel like there's a solution to that if everybody is elevating the brand. And I'll give an example. I've seen a small company with a team of about 10 salespeople. I, for the life of me, can't figure out what each one of them is trying to say because they're all scattered. And then one day I actually went to the company page and I went, I did not even imagine that is what they do. So I think strategy is the piece I see missing the most. I'm guessing you have a rant about strategy and how it impacts people. So what do you tell your clients when they're like, I don't need strategy, just give me tactics? Because I know you get that question.
Yeah, strategy is actually how it starts with clarity and then the positioning, because without strategy you are lost. You don't have the direction, so you really have to have the right strategy to what are your goals, who is your target audience exactly, and then the messages and also the content pillars, which is really important. And it's different for the LinkedIn company page and also for the personal profiles. But the personal profiles, they are actually showing how the company lives, but also of course you can show it on the company page. But the posts from the company page are not so pushed as from the personal profiles, which shows that it's all about people on LinkedIn. And also behind every company there are people. So yeah, so it's actually, it starts everything with the strategy, and it's why I really start working with my clients first on the strategy, because that's actually the how it works, how you can everything change, how you can get results, how you can implement what you learned, and to have this clarity that goes through from a profile, through active community to the content.
I love that. And I think I'm just having this sinking feeling that a lot of what you and I are discussing is native language to the go-givers, and to everybody else, they're hearing wah, wah, wah. But what I do see, and I want to ask you this because I think this is the most important question. What's an example of a client you've worked with? What is the actual tangible results from having worked with you? Because this is the part I think most of the bro bots are missing is, I got 100,000 followers. Who cares?
Yeah.
What's your revenue from that, right? Just show me the revenue.
Yeah, so it really depends on the goals of my clients. So as I said, one of my clients in 3 weeks, he got 4 new employees without putting any ads. It was only through his LinkedIn activities. It was a CEO from organization. Another one, he's getting continually clients. Another lady, she thought she can't get any clients through LinkedIn, and she got so many clients she couldn't manage them, even though on her own. So other people, they want to build a community and become known in the industry, so become the thought leaders. And this is actually that they build these relationships. The people are reaching out to them, they are inviting them for speaking engagements, to be on podcasts, to do workshops, or to teach also. I have also clients who are also teaching, like lecturers. So yeah, the goals are really different, but after we work together, I hear every time like, oh, it starts working, it's clicking, and yeah, people are reaching out to me, and I get so many inquiries. So it's really, yeah, it's, of course it depends how you implement it, because we do it together on the call or in the workshop, of course, but then you have to continue. And I also give homework that the people have this commitment, but also I expect that people are so committed, they are doing, and they are coming to me, I have a question, and I don't want to understand this better, and why did happen in that way. So yeah.
I'm going to use an analogy. I have had the need for physiotherapy in the past, and I'm fascinated by people who show up to therapy, expect the physiotherapist to do the work. They don't do any of the homework, and then they come back and say, well, you're not working for me. My back still hurts. I think that's a key thing, is we need to be willing to do the work. Is that fair?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And also, if I see like there's something missing on a growth mindset, I give them also exercises how to change this, and but it's also, it has to be done regularly. It also, I say, you don't have to spend hours on LinkedIn. It's when you have 10 or 20 or 30 minutes max per day, and when you do it every day, of course you don't have to do it on weekends, but if you do it every day, and of course you can take a vacation, but every day during the year, and being consistent and really building your brand, building your community, you will achieve such big results that you can't even imagine. And it's not about doing like everything in 1 month. No, just continually, and put it in your calendar and block the time and do it. And if you can't do it like now, then do it in the evening or doing during the lunchtime. You can do it. If you really want and believe in it, you will do it.
I love that. And for what it's worth, I'm a systems guy. So everything I do, I build a system for it. And I spend about an hour a day on LinkedIn because it's my sole business development and relationship tool. I find it fascinating because I do see people, they'll post 100 times in a day, and then I don't hear from them for months. And I'm like, consistency is the key. So let's talk about, you said at the beginning, before I think we started recording, to work with you, the first step is to schedule a call. So walk me through. I'm going to guess that LinkedIn is probably the best place to find you. What does that first step look like? So they book a call, and what are you going to discuss on that call?
So I really want to get to know the person. I really want to know where they are at. I want to meet them where they are. I really want to understand their service. Of course, I was on their website, I was on their LinkedIn profile, but I want to understand really exactly how they help and who they help. And then I also want to know more about their LinkedIn journey, about what they feel, what they have done, why it's not working, why do they help the help now, they need the help now. So I really want to get to know them deeper. and also to understand how they think and what's their mindset, and if they are willing to change something. And if they are really willing to do something, to change something, if they have the need and they really feel that it's important now, then I ask them if they want to discover how I could help them, and then if they agree, I walk them through, and and we talk about how we could together reach their goals. And I feel it, if the person is not there yet, then this nice relationship, nice talk, and I mean, you never know when you will meet the person again.
I love that. Well, Sarka, I know it's probably unusual for you to get some strange person reaching out and saying, "Hey, I'm a go-giver, you're a go-giver, let's chat." You know who your friends are, you know who your people are when you say, "I want to have you on the podcast," and they say, "Absolutely." So, Sarka, I want to thank you for being on the show and for sharing your light with my audience, because I think you're absolutely brilliant. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you. And gratitude is one thing that brings us much more abundance and gratitude. So I'm so grateful, and all the best for you all. Thank you.